Good morning, dear friends. Yesterday was a mixture of a little of this, a little of that, and some of them, and some of they. But you know what? After God got through mixing it all up into one life that I lived on yesterday, I heard God say, "It is good." Just before evening, God said, "It is good." Then it was evening, and now look what God has given us, me, you, a brand new day to do a little of this and to do a little of that and to just get it all mixed up. This is the Reverend Dr. Laverne Corrine Williams Foster Hall Harvey Brown Fontaine Turner Hill Holt McCain, just a sum of my ancestors. So we're going to just get right into our brother James, who was the brother of Jesus, who tells us how we ought to live as Christians. And we're going to look at, let's see, chapter 4, verses 1 through 12, where James is teaching us and telling us and encouraging us to submit ourselves to God. So, chapter 4, starting with verse 1. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You want something, but don't get it. You kill and covet, but you cannot have what you want. You cannot, but you cannot have what you want. You quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world is hatred towards God? Anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Or do you think Scripture says without reason that the Spirit He caused to live in us envies intensely? But He gives us more grace. That is why Scripture says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double minded. Grieve, mourn, and wail. Change your laughter to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Brothers, do not slander one another. Anyone who speaks against his brother or judges him speaks against the law and judges it. When you judge the law, you are not keeping it, but sitting in judgment on it. There is only one law. There's only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and destroy. But you, who are you to judge your neighbor? Who are you to judge your neighbor? Submit yourself to God. Submit yourself to God. This is a day that was gifted to all of us. And as we prepare to enter into the fullness of these words, submit yourself to God. Put yourselves in the midst of these ancient but holy yet applicable words today. Put yourself into these words. Feel them, taste them, and embrace them. within the palms of your prayers all day long. God, feed my good. Order my steps. Do not allow me to chase after the wind. God, feed my good. And on this day, in this moment, I humbly submit myself to you. One step at a time, one breath at a time, all day long, so that whatever betides this day in front of me, this mixture of it and that and them and they, God, stir it up and mix it all up and feed my good in the midst of it. So that just before evening, I will hear you say, it is good. It is good. So, my friends, keep embraced within the palms of your prayers that which you would want God to feed. Feed feed the good of this nation, nourish and feed the good of this whole wide world. And yes, I know, I have every confidence that we will all hear God say, just before evening, it is good. Yes, this is the Reverend Dr. Laverne Corrine Williams Foster Hall Harvey Brown Fontaine Turner Hill Holt McCain, just a little old human being who makes mistakes doing this, that, and everything else. But God will be feeding my good all day long. Have a good one. Have a great one. I'm going to try anyway.